Hey there, Symphonic Band. Happy New Year. What's up? Hope everybody had a great Christmas break. It was good to see you guys on Zoom this past week. So what I'm going to do here is a tutorial video for this first week right after Christmas break and cover three things. The first thing I'm going to show you is the E-flat concert scale found on page 3 of your book. And the next thing is example 7, Molly Malone, and then I'll finish with Turkish March. We'll talk about a couple concepts. I'll go through this quickly. At any point you can pause and rewind if you need to hear anything again. So first off, I'm going to be playing the E-flat concert scale and the arpeggio and the chords that take place after it's over with. Couple things about that one. You'll notice there's a little apostrophe at the end of bar 4. That is called a breath mark, so take a breath when you see it. At the very end of the song, there's a fermata over the last note, which means you're just going to hold it a little bit longer than you normally would. The last thing I want to mention is when you go back to listen to that, and I hope you do, notice as I'm going higher, my volume isn't getting any louder and my tone quality isn't changing. It's really important that when you're changing registers, you don't do gross stuff like this. You got to think about your airspeed, your embouchure, all right, so the way that your mouth is on the mouthpiece, your tongue placement, so you get this nice even sound regardless of how high or how low you're playing. So you'll notice the tone, when I played that scale, it was the same on every single note. Now, I'm using that concept, the concept of tone, to move us into example number 7. The piece Molly Malone is an old Irish folk song, oftentimes played as a ballad. And so when you're playing something that's slower, it needs to sound really pretty when you play it. So you need to focus on your tone quality. Don't have any notes that sound really gross or any notes that pop out louder than others. Follow your dynamics. You'll notice under bar 4, there's a crescendo, which means we're going to get louder up to forte. And then the first ending, there's a decrescendo, taking it down to mezzo piano. Last 2 bars, there's a ritardando, which means we're going to slow down. And of course, the fermata above the last note, which means we're going to hold it. Here's how Molly Malone sounds. So listen to that a few times and think about the expressive part of your playing when you're doing it. See if you can slow down at the end like I did. If you can have complete control over every note so that it sounds beautiful when you play it. Moving on to example number 9, this is Turkish March. This is allegro, which means fast. And you'll notice that there are these little arrows that are above notes, like in your first full measure on count 1, measure 2, right above count 1. Those are called accents, and to properly play an accent, you have this burst of air that comes out really strong, and then you let it back off a little bit. So here would be 4 notes without an accent. Now I'm going to play the same 4 notes, but I'm going to put an accent on count 2 and an accent on count 4. You'll hear a difference. A little bit stronger, louder sound on those notes. So when you're playing accents, make sure that is taking place. The other thing I want to point out is articulation. And notice when I said articulation, I did not say articulation. I articulated articulation. It needs to sound very precise, very clean. When you have 2 notes connected together, like measure 2, from count 1 to the end of count 1. You'll tongue the first note, blow through it while you move the fingers, and you get this really nice sounding slur. Instead of tonguing both. There's definitely a difference, and it's super noticeable when you have an entire band of students playing together if people are not articulating properly. Here's how Turkish march sounds. Good luck working on those examples. Get a head start on those before we meet on Zoom at your scheduled time for this week. And we'll plan on helping you guys at that point, and we look forward to taking you guys to the next level and hearing you improve.